This is a really bad look. It just is not a good sign for Black Ops 7 Zombies, in my opinion. I think that this could have been handled so much better, and in typical Activision fashion, it feels like they have done something that they could have gotten away with in the multiplayer side of things or the campaign side of things, but in Zombies, their approach should be a little different, and they've just failed to kind of take that into account here, it seems like. Let me give you the full context as to what the hell is going on. So, we played Black Ops 7 early. Me and a handful of other creators played Black Ops 7 early. At this point, like over a month ago, I'm pretty sure. Time is confusing at the best of times these days. So it was about a month, 6 weeks, I don't know, something like that. And at that little playtest event, we had a presentation and we had a Q&A that we were allowed to talk about publicly, and we had some information that had to stay private. And so I did a first impressions video where I talked about the presentation and the Q&A, and I posted that, and people were like, okay, when are we going to hear more about Black Ops 7? Like, when can you give us the lowdown on what you played? When will we learn more about maybe if there are going to be some new systems changes, which it didn't sound like they were particularly forthcoming with in the presentation and in the Q&A. And the marketing that went out alongside all of our posts said the Zombies reveal is coming in early September. Those are the key words for the start of this video. Early September. So, we are now on the 9th of September. It's the 9th of September today. I would ask you guys just real quick, what is early for you in a month? Like, would that be anywhere before the 10th of the month, for example, would be early September? Because to me, that would make sense, being the first 10 days are early, the next 10 days are mid, and then the next 10 days are late September, right? Like, that seems pretty logical to sort of divide it into early, mid, and late. But it's weird because we're on the 9th of September today when the early September Zombies reveal week was going to be, and there hasn't been a Zombies reveal just yet. So the question's been percolating in the community as to, like, what exactly is going on? Where the hell is this stuff? And it all came out yesterday that there's actually been a bit of trickery going on behind the scenes to change up the previous messaging that we have received about when the Zombies reveal stuff was going to be. It's all been secretly delayed, seemingly. So let's just go through this sort of stage by stage now. So we're looking at an Ink Slasher video here, and the reason we're watching this version specifically is that he reacted to this stream at the time that this stream was uploaded. I think this was like during Gamescom. Yeah, it says in the corner here, just in the top corner, during Gamescom. And that is when all of my coverage was going out as well. That went out alongside at the same time. So this was the original Gamescom stream, and this is what the devs had to say.
We can't forget Zombies because we only got a teeny tiny little taste of what is coming to Zombies and Black Ops 7 because the dedicated Zombies reveal is just a few weeks away.
A few weeks away. This video was uploaded on the 20th of August, okay? So a few weeks, I'd say that's like 2 weeks, right? A few weeks after the 20th of August has already passed. So something confusing is going on. What it was then discovered, though, is that they edited this stream, the VOD of it that is available to watch on the internet. They edited it in place using the YouTube editor, which is a thing that like any YouTuber can do. And they switched it over to this version, which I think was clipped by the Corborium, so salute the Corborium. And this is the new version of the same clip in the new COD pod.
Tiny little taste of what is coming to Zombies and Black Ops 7.
But the original crew has made a return.
They trimmed the bit saying it's a few weeks away. It's just gone. And the weird thing about this is that they didn't say anything about it. They didn't publicly acknowledge this. They just did nothing. They just thought that if they hid it from us, we'd all be like, obviously that's fine. Like, what? What are we doing here? So then we can also look at some of the other areas where they've confirmed this. The PlayStation blog, Margua has noticed, said Zombies fans should look ahead for more details in early September. And also in the blog post itself, now 21 days ago, because this tweet was posted yesterday, 21 days ago, 3 weeks ago, they said, Zombies is shaping out to be a hell of a ride. You won't have wait long you won't have to wait long to uncover more intel. The reveal is only weeks away, right? So what seems to have happened here, right? What seems to have happened is that the original COD Pod came out, right? And they were planning for the zombies reveal to be happening probably between September 8th and September 12th. That is my assumption. That would fit into the early September category in my view, and it would be a zombies week, which we've been promised, and it would mean that we finally have some more details about the mode because it's been so sparse so far. What I think's then happened is there's been all of the backlash to the fact that the skins in Black Ops 7, or Black Ops 6 rather, have been so zany and crazy for so long now, whereas Battlefield's finding a load of success, and Battlefield is really grounded in its aesthetic for Battlefield 6. And so I think Activision got a bit spooked, and they were like, oh boy, we need to go back to the drawing board a little bit because for the first time, we're actually a bit scared about this competitor kind of stealing some of our market share. So then they put out that, like, no carry forward thing and that thing about how their skins are going to be more grounded. And like yesterday, they revealed a new version of the Ted skin, whatever. So they've been doing that. And I suspect also, while there's been a bit of an internal furor to try and make that happen, I suspect that they've seen videos from folks like myself from the reveal, the Black Ops 7 Zombies sort of reveal from when I played it, when I was allowed to talk about it at Gamescom, and they've seen me quoting the devs, and I'm actually gonna directly quote my own question here as well, because I want to make it very clear in the Q&A, like, I tried to hold their feet to the fire a little bit, because that's what I do in a Q&A. I feel like that's what you're meant to do with any element of journalistic goal in your brain, is ask some questions that are going to provide some interesting answers. And so I said, there have been big systems changes game to game from BO1 to BO2, BO2 to BO3. They all feel drastically different. What core system changes are you making to distinguish this game from Black Ops 6 so people feel it is worth the purchase price? Which I think is a valid question. And they basically said, well, it's going to continue a lot of the systems. I'd say the purchase is more about the content you're playing. And then Kevin Drew jumps in and says, like, perks, for example, like, that's not going to change. So, like, they basically were like, there aren't a lot of big systems changes, at least in the answer that we were provided at the time. And I raised this in my video because I was like, personally, that isn't super promising, because I like the game's feeling different game to game. And systems are a big way that that can happen, especially when we aren't having game engine changes game to game in a huge way these days, which we were having in the past, right? So I asked this question. They gave an answer that I deemed pretty unsatisfactory. And so I also wonder if the reason for the delay here is that they've gone, not only do we have an aesthetic problem with our skins, we also have some messaging problems that we need to address for zombies to better speak to the sorts of questions the zombies community will be asking, such as the question that I asked in the Q&A, about things like systems changes. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. And to be completely clear, I actually think it's totally valid for them to delay a bit of marketing or whatever in order to better address the things that we would want to be addressed. Like, if they had a plan that was a bad plan, yeah, I think I'd rather them make a better plan and take an extra week to do that and then implement the plan, right? Like, that seems logical. The same way, if a game is in a bad place, I'd rather it not ship in a bad place. I'd rather it be delayed and then ship in a good place, right? You understand what I'm saying? So I think that what they've done here, in theory, is actually totally fine and valid and maybe even the best possible decision. But it's the fact that they haven't communicated this, bro. And it goes back like a decade in zombies. This thing that happens over and over and over again every year, where it's like the multiplayer audience interacts with the multiplayer marketing in a totally different way, right? They are so much more leaned out compared to zombies. Zombies is such a leaned in fandom, right? You just have to look at the views on things like random seasonal story trailer reveal stuff every single 2-month period to see that the multiplayer stuff or the whatever is like hardly getting interacted with. And then the zombie stuff, every single time, everyone is like screaming from the rooftops about it. There's so much more interaction. There's so much more energy there because the zombies fandom is so much more leaned in, right? And so in that scenario, when you've got a community like that is so ravenous, sorry, I just punched my mic, so ravenous, it doesn't make sense to try to secretly, like, while no one's looking, do a cheeky edit of a COD pod to take out a line saying when the reveal is going to be and not tell us when the new reveal is going to be. Like, why are we doing this? It doesn't benefit anybody. Like nobody benefits. There is no benefit to me as a content creator. Let's talk about me selfishly for a second. There's no benefit to me as a content creator having a busy schedule with a lot of other games coming out. Borderlands comes out this week, bro. And if I'd booked time out of my calendar to not cover Borderlands so I could cover Call of Duty and then was expecting there to be Call of Duty all week and then there wasn't, from a business perspective and a selfish perspective, I'm going to be like, well, this sucks. This is a completely avoidable scenario, and the guessing of like, will it be this week or next week is not fun. That doesn't benefit me personally at all. Now let's talk about the broader zombies community and their perspective. Is it better for the zombies community to wake up on a given day and go, I'm gonna take a guess as to whether or not this is the week that they promised it would be? Like, I don't think that has any benefit at all. Like, why not forecast if you're making a change to this when the new thing is gonna be? Like, even if they just said, hey, like last week, right? Because this tweak to the COD pod, I'm pretty sure it happened like in the official re-upload. The re-upload was 1 week after the game's conversion. Yeah, perfect. So like this has been in place for a little while now, and they just decided to not say anything, which doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're not sure when it's gonna be anymore, just say that. Say, hey, Zombies gang, we are listening to your feedback about the stuff that we've shown so far, and we just need a little bit more time in the oven for the reveal week, and so we're going to push it to mid-September. How easy would that be? Bro, that would take anybody at Treyarch 1 minute to type out. 1. So why are we not doing this? Like, why are we hiding it? It's nonsensical. It's actually baffling. And it's extra rough, I think, because I think overall, Black Ops 7 has had a really weird marketing cycle so far. Like, the reveal stuff's happened quite late. We've got this extremely awkward scenario where I've played Black Ops 7 Zombies, but I'm not allowed to talk about it, which I still think is the dumbest thing in the world, and I'll be talking about that in a video nice and soon, don't you worry. But there's this very, very unusual sort of structure of the marketing that they've done. I have to wonder if it's because they're panicking a little bit in light of the Battlefield 6 success. I just have to wonder whether that's the case. And I don't know. It really feels like this is held together with just like a shoestring and some tape right now, which isn't normally how these things go. The COD marketing campaign is usually pretty nailed down. Like last year, bro, we had a whole month of zombies, basically. It was incredible. Like that zombies month was such a good way to generate hype. And this year, like, we're in September, bro. We're not in August anymore. Like, what are we doing? Where is the excitement? I feel like it's not there. I feel like the extent of the excitement is from people being like, I'm looking forward to the idea of there being zombies, not the actual tangible version of zombies we're actually getting, you know? Like, it's based on faith right now, which is crazy. This is a hundreds of $1 million product. Where is the marketing? Like, I don't know. It's confusing to me. I want them to delay it if it needs delaying, but I want them to tell us. It's that simple. It's so straightforward. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is that today they will tweet out and they'll be like, hey, Zombies crew, Zombies reveal is next Monday. See you there, right? And that will be a start, right? That will be a great start. The problem is that I'm having to make this video to make that happen, right? When we've seen that they made this decision, or they were uncertain about their decision 13 days ago, right? Or 1 week after the Gamescom panel, right? Which is like weeks and weeks and weeks old at this point. So they made this decision, and then they said nothing for this long. And they said nothing until big, annoying MrRoflWaffles comes in, bane of Activision's existence, the last person on the planet that any of the Activision staff would want to bump into in the street on any given Tuesday, because I cause them nothing but problems, because I hold them accountable when they do stuff that is just silly. And I come along and say, hey guys, this is a bit silly, and then they course correct. I've been doing this so long. I'm a little tired of having to be that guy. I'm just a little tired of it. It would be really awesome for them to just get it right for zombies the first time round. And I know they're capable of it, and they did it to a great extent last year. And they also made some mistakes last year that they then learned from and implemented the learnings from. Bravo. I've given them their flowers for that through the year. Where is it now? Where are the learnings? Where is the communication? What are we doing? So with all that said, if next week they come out and they're like, it's transit, and in transit, we've got a wonder vehicle, and in transit, we no longer have buildables. Yeah, and the fog's different. I'm gonna be like, bro, what were we doing in the extra week? Where is the hype building? Like, I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried. Let's just put it that way. I want this game to succeed so badly. I want Treyarch to succeed so badly. I want Black Ops 7 Zombies to be a banger. Of course, I love zombies. I want it to win. Right now, I think that they could be doing a better job of making it win. That's all I'm saying, all right? So Treyarch, please give us that tweet this evening. Now that my video's gone live, sort it out. Give us some advance warning when you're making sneaky behind-the-scenes changes like this, and we're all anticipating something to be in a given week, and then it's not, and we're all just burned for no reason because of poor expectation management. Do that, and kill it next week. That's all I ask for. And in the meantime, I'll make some more zombies videos in the next few days. And I'll probably play Reckoning at some point. Although Borderlands is coming out, like I said. So I'll probably cover Borderlands for a few days, and then we'll figure out Reckoning next week or something. Something like that. All right. Thanks, folks. Bye for now.